Is it possible to be too polite or nice on your team? Absolutely. Hey there, I'm Michelle K. Anderson, the founder of the Conscious Leadership Method. I help managers address interpersonal issues that have become obstacles for growth so they can build high-impact teams. In this video, we explore the main reason why teams struggle to develop rapport and trust, and it's a little bit counterintuitive. Stick around to find out if you're making this common mistake. Believe it or not, the main issue teams face when they're dealing with the lack of trust is that they tend to be conflict avoidant. Doesn't that seem backwards? You'd think that by keeping things nice and avoiding any potentially divisive issues, you'd be creating a more safe environment for your team to get stuff done. But in fact, avoiding conflict can signal that it isn't safe to disagree or speak up. Psychological safety is one of two key determinants of high performance on teams. And when there is a lack of safety, no one's willing to risk putting their neck out because they don't want to look ignorant, intrusive, negative, or incompetent. When it comes to dealing with conflict at work, most people make the mistake of avoiding it if they possibly can. The problem with not speaking up and addressing issues in real time is that you miss an opportunity for connection and learning. And over time, these little pinches accumulate and eventually become a real problem that hurts the efficiency of your team and causes you a lot of stress personally. Now, conflict avoidant team members tend to avoid surfacing these difficult issues, and when they come up, they might think, well, it's not such a big deal, maybe it'll go away. Or maybe they know something I don't know. It'll probably be fine. Or I don't really have time to deal with this right now, I'll just deal with it later. Or I don't want to hurt their feelings. They're so sensitive and I'm just not sure how they're going to take this. Or maybe it's just too much energy. I don't have it in me today. Or sometimes they might think it's more efficient to avoid this topic altogether and just find a workaround. Or this person isn't going to like what I have to say and I don't want to risk a verbal lashing. And I get it, conflict is one of the most stressful aspects of organizational life. People clash about almost everything: resources, strategy, roles, decisions, goals, rewards, culture, power, leadership style, inclusion, personality, the list goes on. Initiating these conversations feels risky and it takes a certain amount of clarity and energy that you just might not have most days. And we are culturally conditioned to defer to authority and not to trust our inner knowing, so it's easy to believe that someone else might know better than me. But here's the truth. All high-performing teams have a relationship to conflict where they invite it as a tool for growth. Can you think of a time when you dreaded having a conversation, but you left feeling lighter because you came to a new understanding? In the same way that conflict can be a productive way to build connection in your personal life, organizationally, it's an invitation to connect and learn. And it's easy to see how when conflict is left unresolved, it tends to fester and grow and eventually damage both the individuals involved and the organization. Some people think of conflict like they're in a boxing ring, a struggle that ends with a winner and a loser. And others see conflict more like a storm brewing, and they dread the tumultuous, unpredictable, and intense nature of conflict, but they do know that it always ends. But if you could also look at conflict maybe more like a broken bridge, something became disconnected or damaged, but it is repairable when people talk through their differences or share information. And you could even view conflict like the birth of a star, where some exceptional growth and development can emerge from the heat of conflict. High-performing team members know that conflict is a part of life, even at work. And instead of avoiding conflict, or on the flip side, initiating some reactive or aggressive confrontation in order to get it out of their body or to express themselves, high-performing team members know that it's far better to prevent conflict when possible, de-escalate it once it emerges, and deal with it constructively under all circumstances. And the cool thing is that having the understanding of your Enneagram personality styles can help provide insights that make it easier to deal with conflict when it does show up. I created a free download to help you navigate conflict using insights from the personality Enneagram types. You can find that at michellekanderson.com/conflict. In it, you'll find information on common triggers and stressors so that you can start to anticipate issues on your team. as well as things you can say or do when you find yourself in the heat of battle. Now, some of you might be thinking, but my team isn't dealing with a ton of conflict right now. Is this work really the best use of our time as a team? And to that, I say yes, for two reasons. One, because the lack of conflict on your team might not be evidence that things are going well. It may just be evidence that people are afraid to speak up, right? And secondly, the goal of this work is to help you stay out of the danger zone rather than having to hire a consultant to help your team get out of trouble later. My intention here is preventative. It is much more work for me to come in and help a team when they're experiencing acute problems than it is to help them create a safe container to explore things as they come up. And this work serves you in every relationship that you have in your life, not just at work. So go download the free resource and open up to the possibility that conflict may be the very thing that creates trust and rapport on your team. Good luck.